Happy birthday to you. That's how we begin our segment with Dr. Darren Green this Tuesday. Of course, we talk about medical things, we talk about health, and I don't know if you've read about it in papers or online right now. It's an issue that affects our youth because we are, of course, in Youth Month, leading up to Youth Day on the 16th of June. And a lot of young people are said to be experimenting with homemade drugs. Look, we're not talking Breaking Bad kind of stuff, but it's close enough. It's something called scissorp or purple drank or syrup or lean, which is a type of homemade drug which a lot of them are experimenting with right now, and it can have devastating effects on their health. So if you know somebody who's experimenting with homemade drugs, perhaps you are, and you are seeking some medical advice, give us a call on 08391333728. Dr. Green, how are you?
Fantastic, sir.
Good to have you.
Thank you.
Scissorp, purple drank. What on earth is that even?
Certainly it makes us think of Prince, Purple Rain, doesn't it? Eh? But nothing to do with that. It actually is an addictive substance that's been concocted and been utilized for more than almost 2 decades already. Yeah. That's now hitting South Africa and hitting our Cape Flats in the Western Cape and a lot of our impoverished communities. It involves basically the composition of having codeine, which is a narcotic or a painkiller, combined with an antihistamine. You know, like we use promethazine syrup or for itchy bites and for allergies, etc.
Yes.
Combined with codeine, promethazine, and then they normally add a bit of rock candy and a bit of a bubbly carbonated drink to obviously just bubble all that up. And then they sip on that syrup basically the entire night and consume it in copious amounts, leading to a certain effect of euphoria where you feel absolutely spaced out, calm and relaxed, and then the sedative effect, obviously, of the antihistamine, obviously making you a little bit drowsy and more chilled out. Yeah. And that's what we find happening a lot amongst a lot of our teens. We're seeing an increased surge of teenagers buying cough syrup, for example, at pharmacies, due to it being a Schedule 1 or 2, basically over the counter.
Yes, it's very easy to come by.
It's easy, especially for children over the age of 14.
Oh my goodness. Listen, we want to engage with you on this topic, so do give us a call if you have any questions or comments to make. 08391333728, that is the number to dial. So what is it about the combination of these ingredients that you've mentioned puts you on that high? Yeah,
so codeine, for example, is one of the narcotics that belong to the opiate groups, you know, morphine. The same class of drugs, really. So what happens is you have then a release of certain neurotransmitters in the brain when using this painkiller. In this case, in cough syrup, it's used as a cough suppressant. So it makes you cough less.
Okay.
So what happens is you use that and then you get this feeling almost of a surge of a reward system because the neurotransmitter levels are then altered in the brain. And then with that, you get a bit of an out-of-body experience almost from taking it in high amounts.
Yes.
You know, codeine addiction is one of the biggest addictions in the world for people that have chronic pain and that use painkillers readily. Eventually, they end up developing things like, you know, chronic medication-induced headaches from using codeine and painkillers for headache initially.
All right. Well, we'll continue our chat with Dr. Darren Green shortly after the break. We're talking about homemade drugs. If you've got any questions or comments to make regarding this topic on this Medical Tuesday, give us a call on 08391333728. But first, let's find out what else is coming up on your Feel Good Breakfast show.